Many of you will have strong views on euthanasia, and if public opinion polls are any guide, most of you will be in favour of it. But mark my words, today is a watershed moment in the social and legal life of this country. We know the Northern Territory went down this path 20 years ago before Canberra overturned it. Now, with the state legalising what it calls voluntary assisted dying, it'll likely be part of our national story for keeps. As we'll hear in a moment, there will be strong efforts to replicate this around the country. I'm deeply worried about this so-called reform. We've crossed a threshold now where the state is sanctioning the taking of a life. At a time when we've never before seen so much attention, effort and funding devoted to combating suicide, we have the state endorsing and facilitating the taking of a human life, especially, albeit to relieve pain, of course, and suffering of those with terminal illnesses. In most states now, the pivotal point in the medical treatment and human hope for patients is the moment when those patients, their carers and doctors switch from combating illnesses to providing palliative care. This care eases and smooths the path to death with a strong focus on minimising pain and discomfort. Some say euthanasia is a small step on from that. I believe it's a giant leap, both medically and morally. I know many people's views on this are informed by personal experience. We all hate to see or experience suffering. We also know that palliative care has never been better and is always improving. But this is a dramatic shift for doctors, many of whom will balk at being involved in such a process, effectively providing legally sanctioned assistance to a suicide. From overseas experience, especially in the Netherlands, we know there will be overreach. Controversies in Holland have included euthanasia administered to deaf twins who feared going blind, a woman diagnosed with mild autism and a murderer serving time in jail. We know there will be controversial cases emerging here too, where the motives, the illnesses, the diagnoses and the ages of the patients will be the subject of debate and lead to pushes for relaxing the laws or tightening them. All this is inevitable. Fundamentally, we are looking at lives taken with the sanction of the state. Most of the people who argue for this practice or tacitly support it simultaneously oppose capital punishment because they oppose the state taking a life and they believe that while there is life, there is hope for reform. This is a paradox I find difficult to grasp. This so-called reform is being celebrated today. I fear we might live to regret it, if for no other reason than the mixed message it sends to our young people about the sanctity or the primacy of life.